So the peas are about done here. So the last crop here, any last peas that are developing here, we're going to let to go to seed, dry out, and harvest those and save those for seed here. See, I got another molehill here, so this one's fresh, so you can tell where they are. You can see the coloration difference. So here's light dirt, and this is moist dark dirt. So he's been out here last night and this morning kicking up that stuff. But notice how large it is. That's kind of large. He's probably done. Maybe, maybe not. He could probably kick out a little bit more. Seems like a smaller one, but not sure until I catch him what size he actually is. So I wanted to show you real quick. This is the Jericho lettuce when it's bigger, in case you're wanting to see what it kind of looks like. This was planted 1st of May, April 24, somewhere in there that week. Got it out here. This is a romaine type lettuce, but you notice it isn't going to seed. It still looks beautiful, and it isn't bitter. It still tastes really good. I'm really happy with its production here. Produces a lot, big heads here, and it's already July 7. So it's even all this hot weather we've been having. It's still doing fine, and this cooler weather is just going to grow the next week here a lot. So I usually have to take a lot of the leaves off because they start to get ratty, either slugs eating on them or other bugs, and they just get too full too. So I want the new leaves to be coming up because after a while the older leaves will start to get a little bitter just because they're old. And there's so many fresh new leaves coming on in the center here. So about every week I have to do maybe 10 gallons worth of lettuce leaves I put on my compost pile. Just clean them off all around here, down at the base here, just kind of clean it up. So that helps to rejuvenate the plant and encourage them to put out some new growth, which is the kind that I like to eat. This is the Rouge de Hiver over here. It's a red romaine variety that I was talking about there. So it's just about done here. It's starting to put out its first seed heads up here, and the leaves are getting less sweet. They're not quite bitter yet, but they're getting close to getting bitter on some of them. There's still some edible leaves on here. I keep taking off just to give it some variety in the salad so there isn't just green. It's nice to have some red in there too for color and probably nutrition too. Alright, so got to get this trellis up here. I got my posts up. Got them all put in a couple days ago. On this other side I got the wire put in, horizontals, and working on some vertical wire for that. And so I got some of this. And so I got some of this trellis netting. Was recommended, so I'm going to give it a try. Never tried this stuff before, so see how it is to work with. If it's a mess, if it falls apart, what kind of conditions. Some people say you can keep it over several years. We'll have to just see. This is like $27 for this bag, which is 50. This is 5 foot high, 60 foot long. So that'll be enough to carry this. So I got an 18 feet row here, double rows, 2 rows of beans down here. So I'm going to try and put it up to 5 feet here, and then do another. This is about 9 feet, so it's going to have to be overlapped somewhere. Probably over in the middle or something. I'll overlap it a little bit. Shouldn't be a problem. And then, so I still actually need to get the crossbars at the top, either that or a wire. Might try a wire. That might be. I want something that's find the most efficient way, because I could always overdo everything, but you overdo everything and you don't have time for the more other things that are important too. So I stuck 8 foot wood. Well, they're 1.5 by 1.5s, 2 by 2s, I guess they're called. Up the top on the other one there, got those wired up there. So either I can do that up on this row here, which is 4 posts here, or if I can do a wire. I got some, usually you have 17 gauge wire over here, but if I use some of the 14, I think it is, 14 gauge I got, high tension wire at the top, I might be able to, if these are strong enough. See, there's a point where you get your wire too tight and then your posts aren't strong enough, and then what's the point? So, but I think we'll give that a try. That might work well, and try to get this up here and see how easy it is to work with. Just working on getting the length here right. So I take it up there, it should be fine. So it looks like the wire is going to slide down the post, and I can't get it tight enough to stop it, so I'm going to have to get a screw and put it in there to keep it from sliding down. Alright, so I got the wire up. Now I need to get the trellis put up there and see how it's going to work. I anticipate this being a real mess. We'll see here. Alright. So, there's the length of it here, so I'm going to have to cut it. See here, how much overlap should we have? 20 foot. So that'd be, you got a foot on either side. Do I need it? So it's going to wrap around. I'll have to see how it works on the end here. Let's string it out here, I guess. Tie these maybe? Tie it, that can be a pain to get off. This is the best way here. We could staple it on, we could do the string method. Should be easiest. Probably this, maybe putting a string around here to the post. That way if need be I can just cut the string and the whole thing comes off. Rather than having to untie each little one. Would probably be the easiest here. And tie the first one perhaps. Let's see, where's the end? It's coming here. Okay, so there's the end. So put that one there. Let's see here. So the screw in here maybe. Still have one? Yep, there we go. Okay, so right about here. Okay, and that there. Okay, down the bottom here. follow it down. Huh. It's kind of funny. So how is it supposed to go? Okay, what's this? It's not supposed to be attached, or what's going on there? That goes that way. Is this a down? What's this? So it's not supposed to be attached. There. Oh, okay. That helps out. Okay, so there's that. Let's get the corner there. Down, down, down. Those are supposed to be attached either. There we go. It's a little low. Okay, bring it back up to here. And let's move the screw to here. Okay, so I need to get some string to go around the end of it here. I just happen to have a spool right here. So put some around here. So tie. So try a clove hitch here, that way it's easy to get off. But think ahead and how you're going to get this off. Make it too hard. You'll be frustrated later. Do a clove hitch because those are easy to get off. Okay, so now line this up a little bit. And through. Probably one time. Let's see, the pulling part is going to be where these horizontals attach to the verticals, so I should go with the string right above or below. See, it's going to be pulling down, so right below each horizontal would be a good thing to do here. Alright, so here's the other end. So some screws top and bottom to hold it in place. I'm not fighting with it. Full hitch up here. Up. Okay. Through here. Down around this one. Okay, so I got it all tied up here, and then I cut the ends here. I left a little bit of a tail on the end here between the corner piece and the next section there, just so in case this fraser comes undone a little bit, it won't get into the corner piece so much. So got it all strung up, so now I can take my screws out and use these somewhere else. It's nice to have a little stubby screwdriver to put in your pocket. And good evening. It is July 26 here, and I've been doing a lot of mowing here on Sunday, and yesterday I was doing a bunch of tree planting. We had try to get a bunch of our fruit trees out that have been waiting for holes. So now that we have our garden fence up, we can start getting the trees out, which is great. Also been doing some sawing of some firewood. We got a bunch of logs that I purchased and I've been sawing up for firewood. And doing lots of website programming, trying to spend more time working and making some money. I was able to pick a bunch of figs at a friend's house on last Thursday here, and been drying and eating and enjoying those. Our Gravenstein apples have started falling here for about a week now, and got quite a pile in the house that have accumulated. We're trying to get them to ripen up. Most of them that are falling aren't quite ripe yet. They're ones that have usually immature seeds, or ones that never got pollinated, so they're getting either pushed off because of that, or because I had two apples together. So I learned on the thinning. If you watch my thinning video, you can see what I'm doing there. But on my Gravenstein, I had left 2 apples per cluster, and I'm finding out that was kind of a mistake, because they are pushing each other off. They're just getting too big. So 1 apple per cluster would probably be recommended for Gravensteins if they get fairly large. So anyway, been doing that, and also was able to pick a bunch of strawberries this morning. Our plants are producing quite well right now. They've been taking a long time to get there. They've finally got enough water, and compost is starting to kick in. So enjoying those. I was able to get a whole bowl full this morning and chop those up, and also made some waffles that are made from soy and soybeans and millet and barley and wheat, and ground that all up and made some nice waffles this morning. They were quite good. And also been trying some sprouted wheat and making different stuff out of it. Once it gets too sprouted, after about the 3rd day, when it starts to have a little root on there, I found out it gets pretty, the proteins kind of turn to sugar, I think, simplified, which makes it more digestible. But also I tried to make pancakes out of it, and it was a total fail. It just kind of like bubbled, and it was almost like squash or something like that, trying to cook up squash into a pancake, and it just doesn't work. Just a mess. Had to kind of scrape it off, and so that was kind of a fail. But I was able to make cereal out of it. Just blend it up really well and cook it, and it was fairly decent. So there's a little book called Country Living that talks about some of the things that might be coming on the earth, and it says there are reasons why we should not build in the cities. On these cities God's judgments are soon to fall. The time is near when large cities will be swept away, and all should be warned of these coming judgments. Oh, that God's people had a sense of the impending destruction of thousands of cities, now almost given to idolatry. Calamities will come, calamities most awful, most unexpected, and these destructions will follow one after another. If there will be a heeding of these warnings that God has given, and if churches will repent, returning to their allegiance, then other cities may be spared for a time. But if men who have been deceived, continue in the same way, in which they have been walking, disregarding the law of God and presenting falsehoods before the people, God allows them to suffer calamity that their senses may be awakened. And that's on page 7 and 8 of the little book called Country Living. And that's just one of the reasons why it's wise to make plans to move to the country or set up a little homestead in the country where you can be away from these coming destructions that will be on the cities, and be able to provide for your own needs, be able to heat your house and cook and be able to grow food and have a source of water. Those things are very important, and in the cities, when those are cut off, it'll going to be not a very pleasant place to be. And if you can definitely be killed very easily if buildings that you're in or catch on fire, or there's earthquakes, or all kinds of things can happen. So just one more reason why we should be looking and asking God for how we should be able to find homes in the country where we can be away from these coming destructions. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you on the next video.